Just have a quick vape. Packed in the old cigarettes, no good for the old lungs. Yeah, that's the stuff. Vape? Did you vape? No. Shame. Yeah, it's not as wacky as the wacky backing I used to do back in the day, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, that's the stuff. Okay. Should we get on? Yeah. Oh. One more hit for daddy. Yeah. Fuck. Let's get this wrapped up. Teeth. Tongue in the lips. Yep. Okay. I've never really felt more like me, more at home, or even more alive than when I've played jazz. It's all I do. It's all I know. It runs through my veins. Like blood runs through veins. But my blood has jazz. Blood runs through veins. My veins are filled with jazz blood. Jazz runs through my veins, blood, but my blood is jazz. Yeah. I even drive a Honda Jazz. So, piano is the choice of weapon when it comes to slaying the heads or minds of your average Joe. I'm Rodney P, and I'm a jazzer.
What does the P stand for?
Anything you want it to be. Pianist, progressive, profound. Take your pick.
Yeah, but what does it actually stand for?
I'm elusive. I will be what your soul desires me to be.
I'm just asking what your surname is.
Yeah, it's Pratt.
Right.
2 T's. I play the guitar too. The axe. My second choice of weapon. After the hammers. Do you know what that means?
Piano.
Yeah, because piano has the hammers inside, yeah. You can literally play any note in jazz and it'll work. And just chromatic, It's just that, it's that easy. There's no need to clap or anything. It was just impromptu. Chromatic, you can just go. It's just, it's jazz. Jazz has no meaning, no sense. It's got meaning and sense. Actually, it's got both of those things. But you've got to have a certain mind to make sense of it and to give it meaning. In a lot of ways, I'm like an onion, multi-layered. There might be a slightly world-worn, protective and harder exterior, but once you peel back those layers, you'll find something sweeter, richer, more desirable, like an onion. But the further back you go peeling through the rings and layers of life and time, you'll also find something smaller, vulnerable, insecurities, stuff that'll make you cry. Like an onion. Our exteriors harden as we get older. Shells continue to cup the infancy, that vulnerability, the sweetest, most nutritious part of you. The soul. In a world with a consistency of rich sod and soil that allows us onions to grow and flourish, also allows for burrowing insects, bullies, dictators, enemies, fathers. And so we harden our layers, we make them tougher, less desirable. We learn from the insects that want to infect and eat our souls, and in doing so we become insular, shut off, tougher. We become onions. I found that through time, the only thing that can get through each of my layers and hit my core is jazz.
So jazz for you is like a burrowing insect?
Yeah, but no, in a good way.
And what sort of a good way do you mean?
Just, just a caution that anything else, anything that isn't jazz, might be wanting to
It
have.
has to be jazz?
Well, it could be anything.
So it could be anything, I mean, like what, anything that people like? Or?
Yeah, just what I'm saying is that be selective what you let in. There are nasty insects out there that'll want to eat the core of the onion, your soul, but sometimes things want to get through that just want to expose the core, that want to enhance the core, and that thing for me is jazz.
No, yeah, I get that. It's just you were saying that it was, the insects were a bad thing, trying to borrow to get to your soul. So how would you know what one was what?
I don't know.
So what got you into jazz?
Jazz itself.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yep. Way back when I hung around with some cats from the blues scene, some chaps from the rock scene, some kids from the pop scene, nothing really ever held my gaze for long enough until jazz came onto the scene. I was like a moth drawn to the flame of diminished sevenths and swing beat timings. I was captured by it, trapped by the notes shrouding me in excitement and confusion, fusion, standard, modal, Latin, modern, gypsies. I was young at the time, and as a moth to the flame, I flew too close and got zapped. I headed on up to Ronnie Scott's, a little unknown venue in Soho. I wouldn't expect you to have heard of it. And as I sat there in awe, swaying to the swing beat of the right cymbal, I got ahead of myself and decided to join in. I asked the other jazzers if they knew any Fleetwood Mac. The rookie mistake. Needless to say, I was ejected from the venue immediately. I soon went into hiding. I practiced and I practiced until even the blisters on my fingers grew to a beat. 10 years later, I decided to go back and swung the door open. Not the only thing I'd swing that night. And wearing a trilby in my spats, I started to click. The place was as quiet as a mouse. Only me and my fingers with the venue's acoustics travelling the reverberated clicks into the ears of those who'd condemned me to nothingness. I click. And I click. Until all of a sudden, a ride cymbal. I was no longer one. Bass. Keys. I remember the tension was almost sexual. Horns. Here I was, in full swing. I was in. I remember thinking, I've made it. I'm a jazzer. As the whole band kept the music alive by instruction of only my fingers, I remembered that I hadn't actually brought a musical instrument with me and started to slightly panic, wondering how long I could just stand there clicking my fingers. About 10 minutes passed, and both the band and the audience began to realize I had no plan other than just clicking my fingers. The band began to drop out one by one, and the faces of onlookers became tiresome and confused, until eventually it was just me clicking my fingers again. I had no idea of when to stop. It became very apparent that I'd missed my perfect opportunity to stop, so instead decided to carry on clicking whilst exiting the club. As I came closer to the corridor, the reverb lessened noticeably until my clicks were almost entirely drowned out by the sound of buses and taxis passing by outside. I remained outside the venue for some time, eventually stopped clicking. The only thing I really remember was the silence of the venue for several minutes after I'd left. You know, the music didn't start back up again. It may have been shock, or I don't know, I may have just killed the mood. Next time I go, I've got something up my sleeve that I think will probably surprise and shock everyone. Stay tuned to find out. No, do come along, yeah. Be nice to have people there.